It was a great opportunity and pleasure to contribute to this valuable handbook on open universities. I can tell you that at the time I was setting up the Open University in 2012, I went to see different open universities in order to be inspired to do the right thing. And today, you have an updated handbook on the different open universities around the world in order to know what is an open university, how it works, and what it takes to run an open university. This is definitely a source of inspiration for people running universities, for policymakers, and for researchers willing to explore further open distance learning. As far as the chapter on Open University is concerned, it was a pleasure for me to describe my journey. As I said, I had the opportunity to set up the Open University of Mauritius in July 2012 and run it successfully till 2024. By the time I was leaving the Open University of Mauritius, it was financially independent and had the highest number of students in Mauritius, around 13,000. So we have explained the different strategic decisions that we had to take. And we are happy to share that with the community of practitioners so that others willing to go along that route would find the chapters written as a source of motivation, inspiration, and as well understand what are the strategic decisions that have to be made. For me, the journey at the Open University has been one of the most important and pleasurable journeys because the world is going towards that. If we want to take education to the doorsteps of every citizen, there's no way out. You've got to go for open distance learning. If you want the teachers to be trained, if you want every child to have access to education, that's the only way. Open distance learning. That open distance learning is not something that you can do overnight. It requires resources. It requires the right infrastructure. It requires the right people. So these are the things that you will find in that handbook that I will recommend all of you in the field, all the stakeholders to read. For example, at Open University, you will see we had a chance to go for digitalization at a quite early stage. So first, we went for ISO certification in order to streamline all our processes. Then, we acquired a learning management system. We looked for one of the best, but remember, it's not only about purchasing the software, it's about training all the academics and non-academics to make effective use of that LMS. We also acquired a student information system so as to be able to allow the learner to manage his or her own learning. On top of that, the Open University, by the time I was leaving, was in the process of acquiring an AI module that will have data from the LMS and the student information system. Why? Because the aim is to go towards personalized learning. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would wish that all of you go for the book. All of you enjoy reading that book. And I'm sure that once you start reading about one open university, you will read about all the different open universities because each one of them have a unique story to tell you. Enjoy the reading. Thank you.
The book is a very informative document which documents nearly all well-known open universities in the world. From the viewpoint of the book, one can actually know and understand how open universities operate, the challenges, but also the impact they have on the communities that they serve. I was lucky to be one of the contributors on that book, and it helped me to come out with a framework of how the Open University of Tanzania is placed amongst others. But I was also happy to read the contributions from other universities to see that actually we have so many things in common, and that we are able to assess ourselves on how open we are. Quite often, many people don't understand about openness. In that book, we have shown how one can actually assess openness of an institution that is supposed to be an open university. And one of the common areas that I found is that as a measure of openness is we want to see whether the education is free or not. And when it's free, of course, it's 100% open in that area. But I realize that most universities have to put a fee on their courses because somehow they are supposed to run without 100% government support. The Open University of Tanzania, for example, the government only provides salaries to the teaching staff, but all the running expenses have to be borne by the institution, and therefore we put a moderate fee for the students who take courses from that university. But another area was on examinations. Uh, Most open universities are online. They prefer to provide online examinations, but some others are still having a written exam for issues of quality assurance and ensuring that the people who write exams are the very ones who are studying. So you cannot easily expect 100% openness in terms of examinations. You cannot expect 100% in terms of duration of study. We have to limit all that. But in general, it puts into perspective the way open universities around the world operate. And I'm very glad that we have quite a lot of things in common. And we hope that by understanding how limited we are, we may start improving some of the areas where we are not fully open, but we may be able to come up with a model of an open university which is 100% open. Thank you very much.
It was a pleasure to be one of the authors in such an innovative and future-looking piece of resource that had over 50 open universities documented. I found all of the chapters really very interesting because it gives a global view of how open universities have evolved and where they are, the strategies that they have employed to stay afloat and to give access and to move forward higher education in the global space. My chapter talks about the National Open University of Nigeria and how it has grown since 2002 when it was resuscitated up to where it is now in 2025. That's about 25 years. And the strategies that are being used. It's a chapter that is worth reading and looking at, especially the aspect on openness, um, to see all the different indicators and the indices and how open universities deal with the issue of openness within the restrictions of regulatory practices and the like. So I encourage all the readers to take this as a useful resource and to go through it. It's a useful resource for policymakers, for educators, for university administrators. It's a must-have for every university library. Thank you.
Professor Sanjeev Sonawane, Vice Chancellor, Yashwantrao, Chavan, Maharashtra Open University, one of the contributor as an author of this handbook of open universities of the globe, compiled by Dr. Sanjay Misra and Professor Santosh Panda. is one of the excellent document which will showcasing the global open universities very in detail way. Yashwantrao Chavan Maharashtra Open University, established in 1989, and its founder, Vice Chancellor Professor Ram Thakavale, had established a very excellent culture of a ODL in Maharashtra, and also showcased a case of or a very different model of a YCMU in front of the world. In this handbook, we have Yashwantrao Chavan as a YCMU, we got an opportunity to showcase and visualize YCMU at a global level. It's a program, UG program, PG program, certificate program, and diploma program, skill program. Also the hybrid program, which Yashwantrao Chavan is doing still now. And 45 lakh students up till now. That means 4.5 million students up till now completed, got an opportunity to complete their graduation through this university. Um, this university uh, contributing in a ODL mode by using a technology in its different governance, administration, also in the teaching learning process, preparing the ODL material for the learners, also in the examination, assessment and examination and delivering the certification. All these things has been included uh, in this chapter of a YCMU, which will help the other universities to narrate to study the best practices of YCMU. Also, other 47 universities articles which will help YCMU like universities to study the best practices and improve the ODL process of our own universities by this way. At the outset, I can say that this is one of the excellent document in the history of ODL produced and compiled by Professor Sanjay Misra and Santosh Pandaji, which will be a landmark in the ODL history. It will be a great material available for the researchers, for the followers who want to do a, a quality work in a ODL. They have a path work uh, through this handbook. They can study it and improve the quality of a ODL through worldwide. Thank you. Jai Hind.
The book Open Universities Around the World, edited by Sanjay Mishra and Santosh Panda, is a great collection of recent times, great compilation also. It covers a global evolution of open universities across the globe with regional perspective like Africa, Asia, and other continents, and it gives insight details of structures and management aspects of the university. In nutshell, this book is a kind of guide to understand open university practice, open education practice across the world. I contributed one chapter on India's first open university, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar Open University, and it's a kind of opportunity I got to show our university in the bouquet of beautiful flowers, which is developed by Panda ji and also Sanjay Mishra ji. This book, in fact, it gives all the details, not just a kind of recording the histories of open universities. It also elaborates the context of that university, how it evolved, and what is the contribution of that university in particular regional context. And also it gives an elaborative kind of narration, how the universities are functioning in a national context, and also regional in regional perspective, with regional perspective. It is very insightful and very detailed kind of analysis of almost 47 universities across the globe. It is the design, layout, and and very the beautiful aspect of this book is for every chapter, and they divided the book into different chapters, and for every chapter they gave very detailed analysis of that particular chapter. So they gave detailed analysis of entire book, as well as each chapter they elaborately discussed about the evolution, the operation, the management, and structural aspects, and the success stories of that. So in that book gives a kind of complete understanding of evolution, and also the development of ODL as a parallel and also as an alternative educational methodology, mainstreaming the education, this education model. So I would like to congratulate Sanjay Mishraji and also Santosh Pandaji, their experience in it. In fact, they have long journey in Open University, almost 4 decades they are watching, and they are also contributing to this. Of that, this book is greatest contribution and body of knowledge as far as ODL system in the world is concerned. Thank you.